Hi. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. I was just trying to work out whether I was actually live on YouTube. Still trying to figure all this out. How are you? Welcome to my card and a cuppa for Wednesday the 14th of May. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast. So welcome. Hi, Lynn. I was just saying, I was just trying to check if I'd gone live in YouTube. Honestly, I'm sure technology's going to... Oh, you got your card class pack. Oh, cool. That's great. And when did I post that? I think I posted it last Wednesday or last Tuesday, so that's good. Less than a week. Oh, no, about a week. Okay, cool. That's good. Good to know. So, hi. Thanks for joining. Hello. Is it Gina Marie? From Boston, Massachusetts. Wow. Hi, welcome. Well, I'm from Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and it's a sunny kind of day today. You never quite know when it's going to rain, though, at the moment, so I even put my washing in the dryer. Even though it's sunny today, I thought, then I don't have to run out and get it in. So welcome to my card and a cuppa. I hope you've got your cuppa. I have got my bottle of water, actually. I've had 3 cups of coffee today, and that's probably one too many, so I've gone with my water. So today I'm going to do a sketch. Sometimes I like to try and do more simple things in my card and a cuppa, especially for the beginner crafters. So I try to do sketches on a Wednesday, and sometimes on my Make-Up Mondays I do a technique or a fun fold. So I got a new bundle in the mail at the end of last week, and it's actually a suite. And I haven't had a chance to play with it, so I've quickly whipped up one card and we're going to make another. So let's go down to the craft desk and get started. Okay, this is one of the online exclusive suites, and it's really nice, obviously, because I got it. It's not in the annual catalogue, but the scrapbooking kit that sort of matches is, I'm pretty sure, let me just double check. So yes, so this is the scrapbooking kit called Celebratory Sips, and you get the paper plus a sticker sheet and 2-tone cardstock and a different stamp set. But in the online exclusive range, the Celebratory Sips is a suite collection. Now, I didn't buy the whole suite. I got everything but the 2 embossing folders, and you know what I've just put into my cart waiting for my next order? The 2 embossing folders. I bought the stamps and dies as a bundle, so that always saves you 10%, and then you can buy everything else individually. And so that's what I did, because I didn't particularly want the embossing folders, but now I've come to the decision that I think I should have got them as well. So anyway, it doesn't mean I'm going to pay more. It just, yeah, it just is an easier option. If you buy the suite, you just have to put one item number in. So I went the hard road and did it back to front. Anyway, this is the suite. So the Cheers and Sips photopolymer stamp set. It's really cool. So the suite in Australia, which includes the paper, the stamp set and dies, the holographic resin dots, the gold striped ribbon, and the embossing folders, is $138.25. Hi, Marilyn. If you just want the stamps and dies, the stamp set and dies, it's $72.75 here in Australia. So that's what we're going to play with today. Now, this was a card I just came up with really quickly, because the other thing I got in my order was this online exclusive called Painted Stripes. So it's a large background stamp. So I thought, oh, quick, I've got to have a quick play. So I've been quickly rushing making a card. So I've used the background stripe, the Painted Stripes background stamp for my background, and I've used the textured note dies here. I stamped and die cut the glassware and coloured it with my stamping blends, and I don't think you can see it, but I have actually painted some Wink Stella over the top, because I figured drinks can be sparkling if they're sparkly, if they're fizzy. And I stamped a little lemon and cut it, just put a little slit in it to put it over the glass. And not quite sure what kind of leaves these are. They kind of look like celery leaves, but anyway. So that was my really, really quick card before we went live, just so I had something to show you. But today, this afternoon, we're going to do a sketch. So we'll probably die cut from the paper rather stamping and colouring. So I'll put that to one side. Now I have started creating myself a little sketch folder. This is one of the Stampin' Up 6x8 scrapbooking books, and I've just got some of the pages in here. And I'm just trying to think of the lady that does a lot of these. I can't think of her name. Anyway, she does a whole lot, it makes up a whole lot of card sketches like this using retired paper and that way. And so I've got some of those in my little sketchbook, and I've got a printout of last year's annual catalogue as well, the sketches from that. So I've just sort of stuck those in as well. I thought I don't need to recreate them onto cardstock. I've got something well enough here. So I'm just going to keep adding to my little sketch folder. And I find when I get a new suite or a new stamp set and dies, particularly if they're online exclusives, you don't have a lot of visible, like in the catalogue. When you get a suite from the catalogue, you have like visible images of how you can start creating, and quite often I start by casing the catalogue. With the online exclusives, you don't sort of have a lot of imagery to work with, so I go to Pinterest first, or I get a sketch and I'll work with the sketch. So this is the sketch we're going to base our card on today, and I've used a die from the Textured Notes dies. I do really love these dies, they're just the best thing. And I'm going to use the paper. So let's just have a look what we've got. So I've got a piece of Very Burst A5 cardstock. So that's 21 centimeters by 21 by 14.8 or 14.9, scored at 10.5 centimeters, because here in Australia we use metric. And I've got a piece of the Designer Series. Oh, let's have a look at the paper first. That would be a good thing to do. Let's just get the paper out of the packet. I'll leave that piece in, that doesn't matter. So you've got all your beverages. And I'm sure if there's not a beverage of choice, then there's something wrong in this paper pack. And then you've got Strawberry Slush on the back. So this uses a couple of the new in colours, Timid Tiger and Strawberry Slush. I thought the yellow was Darling Duckling, but it is actually Daffodil Delight. And they've also thrown some florals into this paper pack, which is interesting. It's just not all about the alcoholic beverages or the mocktails that you can make. So this is one, this is a really cool one, and this is the one that I thought we'd play with. So I'll just put it like that and turn this one over. So that's that. This is another, actually this is the one I thought we'd play with. I got it wrong. This is another really cool one, and the dies do cut these glassware out. Not the ones with little bits of pieces poking out. You'd have to fussy cut those, but if you've got like just the standard glass, your die will cut those out. Really nice. I think it's also got Blackberry Bliss in it from memory. And here's you've got your lemon and your strawberries. Well, that's that Secret Sea. That's really nice background. And some more flowers. So they've mixed some flowers into this pack, which is interesting because normally you don't get a mix like that. A paper pack is generally sort of along the line of what it's called, which is called Celebratory Sips. So I am going to grab this piece out I've already cut a 5cm strip off this one with all the beverages. This is just a fun set, I think. A fun suite of products. And I'm going to copy my sketch and pop my piece of designer series paper. I can butt it right up to the score line if I want, or if I want I can move it in. And I think I'm just thinking, if I move it in I'm going to lose a little bit, so maybe I should go straight up to the score line. There we go. Now instead of just using the cardstock and the sizes of that, I've gone with the textured note die, which is a little bit smaller than my sketch, but you can do that. And so then I've just made my matting piece 1/2 centimetre bigger from my textured note die. The actual dimensions of this for the sketch was 8 centimetres by 12, and the paper or the matting piece is 7.5 centimetres by 11.5. But I've just pushed it down a fraction by using the textured note die and then matting it with the one just 1/2 centimetre bigger. So let's pop this onto our card base first. So sketches, I think, are a great way to get your mojo back if you've lost it. Or if you've got, like we have at the moment, a whole lot of new product. We've been swamped with a whole lot of new product, and if we've been fortunate enough to buy a lot of it, it's like, where do I start? There's so much I can do. And yeah, you should see the rest of my desk. No, you shouldn't see the rest of my desk. I've got partially made card classes, all sorts of things, and one's like, yeah, it's just a mess. I've got so much stuff, and I sometimes think you should just put it all to one side, choose one thing and start with that. But I don't know, get a bit excited really, don't we? Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. We're going to get our little stemless wine glass, and we could see they fit perfectly around, but obviously you can't cut it if it's got the sprig poking out, because that's not going to work. Well, that one looks quite nice. And then we've got this one, and I haven't even played with this die. This is a die that we might actually do that on a piece of cardstock when we do a bit of die cutting. It kind of makes your glass look like a cut crystal glass, and I have some glasses like that were my mum and dad's, and they're so heavy, and I don't think they're very valuable or expensive, but they have this cut crystal look, which is a bit fun. Now I don't want something too similar. Oh, I do like that one, but that's gonna and I think we'll have to go with, or we could go with this. We could do these two. I'm just thinking maybe I'll do this one down the side here. Oh, they're too red. I want something. Maybe I'll have to fussy cut one. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll fussy cut the pinky one. Maybe, yes, let's do that. So let's just get our paper snips. So you could just get this paper and you could create a whole lot of nice cards with the paper. So I'm going to go in like this to just, and don't discard the drinks that have slightly cut off. You could use that on an insert inside your card. So let's just, you would have to fussy cut it, but it's a really cool way of trimming up the inside of your card. So that's that one. And I think, what did I decide I was going to do? I was going to fussy cut this pink one. Let's just go up. Ooh. I'll just get it round. So yeah, if you don't want to outlay for a whole suite of products, or the stamps and dies, I often grab the paper and go with that and start creating with the paper. Now they're going to be fussy cut down further, so let's just put that over here. This is the one I'm going to cut with my die, and then we might even just grab a piece of cardstock and just have a little look at this one. So let's bring our die cutting machine in. Now all these dies would fit through the mini cut emboss machine, but I'm going to bring my big one in because I can. And I need a bit of cardstock. Let's just grab a bit of cardstock. Where's something we can grab easily? I just want to scrap. Oh, let me just do this die cutting first, and then, because I hadn't thought about that. I'll put those two there. So let's get, so this is the same. You could stamp the glass and die cut it, which is what I did on my sample card. So I'm just going to just line that up, put my tape on it, and run that through. And let's have a little look. So there's our beautiful glass cut out. How cool is that? But it's not hard to fussy cut if you wanted to fussy cut. That's that. Let me just find, what are the colours in this cardstock? Is it pretty in pink? Yes, it's pretty in pink, which is an in colour. So let me just see if I've got some pretty in pink handy. Then I can always use this on another card. Okay, let's just have it. I haven't even played yet, so let's just line this one up. You never know, we might even put this onto our card, who knows. So that's the bottom of the glass, and that's that. So let's grab this and wind it through. Oh, how cool! This reminds me of the glassware I've got from my mum and dad. So it's stuck down because my cutting plate is so scratched. There we go. So that's what it does to your glassware. Can you see that? Isn't that cool? I like that. I think that's all the die cutting I need at the moment. You never know, we might have to use it again. Oops. Okay. So let's bring a sketch. I think that needs stamping around it, but we're not going to worry. We're not going to focus on that. So we're just going to use our sketch. And this is almost similar, you know. And I've got that glass, and let's cut this one out. So I'm just going to leave a little white edge around the glass. I do like the little umbrella. My dad worked 2 jobs when I was little, and he used to work at a leagues club as, you know, a bouncer come drink waiter, and he'd often bring home those little paper umbrellas for me when I was a kid because he knew how much I loved them. So that's pretty pretty cute. I'm not going to go in there because I think that would make the cherry stem look a little bit fragile, so I might go back and go in there. I'll just see what I think. You know what I am. Because I can't help myself. And then we go around and that'll do. Oh, I should try and trim that down a fraction just to make it a little bit neater. There we go. I'm not sure if I've done that very well, but you know, it is what it is. So then we've got this one, and I'll get rid of those. Now we just go to, let's put our textured note die onto our, hi Kerry, where do you stem from, Kerry? We've got people from all over the place today. So we're playing with the Celebratory Sips new new bundle in the online exclusive range. And that's what we're having a little play with, because I got it this week and I just decided I needed to play. Actually, I'm going to do it that way, I think. I am. Now, this is what I was... Now, I'll have to get a piece of white cardstock. But this is what I was talking about with the paper that's cut off on the side in the DSP, the glassware. Don't throw it out. I mean, some of them aren't very useful, but ones like this, you can fussy cut around. It looks like an olive. I don't like olives. So I'd pull that out and give that to my husband of my drink, because yeah, I'm not a fan of olives. As I said, some of them are too cut off, but some aren't. So when you've got like the majority of the image, like this one, I'll show you how we can use them to decorate the inside of your card. I don't think I'll use that, but how cool is that? That's using that little die to make it look like cut crystal. Pretty cute. Okay. Now the other thing I was going to do was maybe use this banner from the Stylish Shape dies in Blackberry Bliss and heat emboss it. So let me just find, Blackberry Bliss is a regal. No, it's a natural. So I just need a little bit of that. Is that going to be it? Yeah, that'll do. So I will need to die cut again, but that's okay. I thought I'd put a bit of this ribbon on and maybe show you what you can do with that too. So let's get that out. And see, once you start designing with a sketch, you start to go on a tangent and think, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. So I am just going to use my embossing buddy to put that over my cardstock so that I don't gravitate with, you know, any bits of embossing powder that I don't want. And I've got my white here, and I've got my Versamark ink, and I'm going to use this Cheers. Let me grab my Stylish Shape die as well, just so I know how big I'm doing. Oh yeah, that does fit just. Thank goodness for that. Go off on a tangent and then you think, is that going to work? Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's going to work. So let's just get the Cheers stamp out and pop it on our little block. And get the Versamark ink. So Versamark is a sticky wet ink that allows you to stamp and then put embossing powder on it, and the embossing powder will stick to it. Okay, let's put that there. This is the Embossing Additions Toolkit. It is so good. I'm just going to sprinkle some powder, white powder over it. That looks pretty good to me. Let's just put a little bit more so we've got good coverage. And so how's everybody doing today? Is everyone having a nice day? Rosie and I went for a walk this morning and that was really nice. And then done some washing. just a nice homey day today. They're my favourite days. I'm very much a homebody. Okay, so you can use this to do your heat embossing over. So I'm just going to get my heat embossing tool. Now this is the Stampin' Up one. It has 2 speeds, 1 and 2. 1 is a lower speed, which is generally used more for drying when you're doing work with water and techniques, and 2 is for heat embossing. So I'm just going to put it onto 2 and let it heat up for a minute before I emboss my cheese. There we go. So that's that. Let me put that back in there, that back in there, that back in there. Slide that back in. Okay, so I will just jump back over to my emboss machine and cut this out. It won't be a minute. There we go. Foggy this morning. Yeah, we've had such strange weather of late, but it sort of goes overcast and cloudy and then the sun pokes back out again, so that's why I just opted to put my washing in the dryer. But I'm not going to risk it hanging it all out and having to rush out and get it all back in again. Can't be bothered doing that. Okay, so we've attached that to that. I'm just thinking, yes. So I'm going to put my drinks like so. And this is where my banner's going to go, up here. So I think I might put this one down flat and pop my little stemless glass. I'm always glad that when it's not raining that I can get my walk in with my little Rosie. She has a raincoat as well, so if it does rain and it's looking very, you know, inclement, we both put our raincoats on. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of my stemless glass. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I'm glad you think I'm relaxing. Sometimes I think I'm a hot mess. Okay, so that's that. So let's pop this onto our card base. So it's a really easy sketch and you can go off on a tangent. You don't have to stick religiously to the exact sketch. It's just a way of getting you started. Okay, so let's pop this on here and I'll sort of nudge it over a little bit so that our banner won't fall off the page. I'm gonna, oh, it's gonna fall off a little bit, isn't it? I don't want to cover my umbrella up. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm going to put a little bit of a dimensional down there. I'll do some from the edge. Always use your edges. And then I shall put a bit of glue there, because this part's going to hang off onto your card base and this part's popped up, so that's why I've done the dimensional over here. So I think that looks alright, even though a little bit of the umbrella's popped up, covered up. There we go, that's that. Now, I did notice that I had just run out of card inserts in my little stash, so let's just grab a bit of white cardstock. And is that 21? Nope, that's the 21. Okay, so we want to cut it at 14.4. I think that's right. And 10. Okay. And this is what I'm saying. Use your side pieces of your paper. Now, of course, like this one's useless. You could use this one even. Can you see that? Probably not. But over on this side, that one would work. That one would work. These two probably aren't worth worrying about. But even the ones down the bottom here, you could fussy cut them out and use them. So don't despair with the ones on the edges if you're using the paper that way. So let me grab my silicone sheet, because I'm going to put glue on the back here. Have you moved yet, Lynn, or are you still on the coast? I know you're sort of kind of in the throes of moving. And I'm going to bring my insert over and I'm going to just stick it down onto the edge. And see, that's a way of using the paper to its maximum. And of course, I have some glue spurtage. There we go. Yeah, that's the way of using your paper and getting the most out of your paper. Use those images that are on the edge. Okay. So just pop that in there. And there's other little sentiments in this. I'm not moving to the end of the year. Okay. There's other little teeny tiny sentiments. Let's celebrate. It's your day. To us. To you. So you can use the cheers to you. Cheers to us. Cheers. It's your day. Cheers. Let's celebrate. What did I do on my sample card? I said cheers. It's your day. And as you can see, it's quite tiny. The little extra fonts, but really cute. So that's that. And we have a siren outside, as always. What did I do with my... Oh, here we go. Now, I do want to do something. I do want to do a bow. I want to show you, if you haven't seen me do this before, this is a bow that I did with this ribbon, and I heat embossed... Well, not heat embossed it. I heated it. Is that a word? Yes. I hit it with my heat tool. I'm struggling to get that out. And you can use this, you can do it with this ribbon. You can also do it with the silver and white ribbon. And you can also do it with the iridescent ribbon. Really cool little technique. So we're going to do that too, just for a bit of fun. I'll create a bow, and it doesn't work on all ribbons. They've got to have this bit of, well, these are all sort of, I don't know whether I'd call them metallic ribbons, but they've got like a little bit of metallic type texture. Does that make sense? And it certainly works on those. And it's just a bit of fun. It's really fun. I got so excited when I did it the first time. But, you know, I'm a bit strange. So we'll leave that there. And these are the holographic resin dots, and they're, I don't know if you can see them, but they're just, can you see how they're holographic and they kind of change colors? Pretty cool. Now let me think. I think I'll put my ribbon up here when it's all and I think I shall put, I might put one here. So these are small, medium and large. I might put one up on the banner, and I might put another little one here. So I've used everything from this suite except for the embossing folders because Denise was stupid and didn't buy the embossing folders. Honestly. Okay, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to hold my ribbon down. I'm going to just put it, like, just hold it like this, she says. And I'm going to get my heat tool and I'm going to heat it up. So hold my ribbon down. I want it to go a certain way, but it's not cooperating, so let me just get it a bit better. No, see, I want it to go this way. Go back that way. Okay, let's see how that works. So it just takes a little bit of fiddling, but look at what you get. Isn't that cute? I think it's really cute. I'm a bit strange. So we're going to put that up there. And with a glue dot, just going to, so just sort of crinkle, it's, I don't know, this is aging me. Back in the day when I was in high school, we used to have these gas heaters in the corners of the height of the classroom, and they had like a grill on top. And if you put a twisty packet, an empty twisty packet on top of that grill, it did the same thing. It went like that. So that, maybe it's just because it's, you know, reminding me of my childhood. I'm a bit odd, aren't I? Anyway, there we go. We could even do some Winker Stella on our glassware if you like. I'm just going to do it on the ice blocks in this glass, just to give them a little bit of a shimmer. See, once you get a sketch and you get started, the creative juices in your brain starts flowing, and you just keep doing, oh, I could do this, I could do that. So there's my Celebratory Sips card for today. So as I said, using a sketch, and we used everything except the embossing folders because Denise didn't buy them because she's a silly nom, but they're in her cart now. And that was my first little play, and not dissimilar to the sketch. I just did one panel on top. But yeah, that's our card for today. I didn't wrap ribbon around this way. I just stuck my little scrunched up ribbon on top. So let me go back to, oh no, what's popped up on my screen? Oh, thank you. I don't know whether it's amazing. It's just a bit of fun. Now look, I can raise my blind up a little bit now. It's just a little bit of fun. So thanks for watching, ladies. Now, if anybody, I've got an online card class coming up, not this weekend, the weekend after. And today, or Saturday, is generally the last day to book in, so I can cut your class up and send it out to you. So let's go back down to the craft desk and I can show you the class. So if you'd like to participate, this class is $35 and you make 5 cards, and I just need to be able to mail them out to you in Australia. They won't get to anywhere else in time. And it's using the Thankful Garden or the Lovely Garden Suite collection. And what I've done is just done fussy cutting with some of the papers, just like we did with the glassware today. So if you're interested in that, please let me know as soon as possible, because I need to get the card packs cut up and get in the mail by the weekend so that they reach you in time. I actually don't have a class this coming Saturday because it's my son's fiance's hen's day and night. So I'm going to part of that. This is my in-person class on the 31st of May. It is actually now fully booked out, but I could probably squeeze one more person in if you live locally, and that's using the Gallery Bloom Suite. And yeah, so there are my couple of classes I've got coming up. But yes, that's our card for today, using a sketch just to get you started. This one. So, oh, that's good, Elizabeth. Thanks, Marilyn. So I hope you enjoyed that. I just think this Celebratory Sips is a really just fun suite. It's just happy and bright, and we all need happy and brightness in our life. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you on Monday for my Makeup Monday. Have a great rest of the week and take care. Keep safe. Bye for now.